created to stand out. No one is a spiritual or biological mistake. God is specific in creating, and therefore, conformity is deformity. When people say that this is what you are, and you decide to be exactly what they say you are, then you have conformed to what they have said, and that is deformity. And tonight we will be discussing about who we are and who we want to be. We're going to find out how we can make ourselves better persons, from our home training down to the school and peers. Our celebration segment, where we celebrate with those celebrating birthdays, burials, marriages, and more. So please, tonight is obviously packed with full load of exciting and informative items for you. So please, I urge you to stay tuned on your TV set. Don't move, don't touch that dial. I'll be right back with my guest after this short break.
Who be that coming, oh?
Neighbor.
Neighbor. But this one you just carry pot just to walk up. But the same with jar.
We no go fit jar na for our country. Na be dey cook smart. So my gas finish. I say man come meet you now as my good neighbor. Make una finish with your neighbor.
With which person gas? With my own gas.
Gas, you no be my good neighbor.
This one gas they cost here. Now your gas just dey finish.
Neighbor, no reason am to. Na just small rice. Na just 2 cups.
I dey come.
No run, no neighbor. Abeg, I need to chop this food.
See the advertisement what I tell you.
Global LPG app makes your cooking easy and fun. All you need is a click on your mobile phone. Go to Android Play Store or iOS App Store. Download
Neighbor, leave all this Bobo juice stuff now.
Register your
Not the free
details
gas
and
again.
address.
For Nigeria.
Neighbor, come go.
Man,
They go bring your free gas for you.
Hey boy, if you just tell me since now, say gas no dey, you can't dey waste my time. Me wey hunger dey catch.
I don't
For talk say gas no dey since now. Neighbor, you no leave for my hand, you blow my mind. You know say before I come out here, the gas don already land. Neighbor, you blow my mind.
I don't tell you.
I don smart now.
When I go to tell na mona respect una head down, I know they hear.
How you go and pass now? You be magician even for this night. They can't still deliver me gas. You gats show me now.
Oh yeah, sit down, make I tell you.
Abeg, you gats show me.
You say you won't know how to do that magic.
You gats tell me now.
When I dey tell you say they no dey fuck up for their action at all. You see say where you dey buy gas with?
When they dey buy gas again, normal roadside now. Papa Ejime for junction now.
Now make una no dey get points. You go fit waka enter inside your phone. You go your Play Store. You go come download Anioma LPG app. When you don download and finish, they fill your gas. They go give you one small paper. You go dey keep am. The day when e be like say money waka comot for your account, enter another person account. Like it show you pepper today.
Well, now.
You go just carry your paper, you go check your points. Any point when you get, now they go give you. Like me, I get 12 points. But I give you how many? 8. You cannot make you finish up for me. 9 we dey call Anioma reward policy.
Neighbor, I don't do. Ma go download them now.
See you. Now you know they happy, you know they share, you know they shine, they go. Come on, go download your app. Not call you, come beg me next time for my free app. Anioma, we know they fake. We be baba, always on time.
As a woman wey don marry, we get pikin and family, we still get belle. How I dey do my work be say in the morning, if I wan just cook, I cook both afternoon food and morning. I know say that one don comot. I go work, as I work. That kind 5 I go as I go do night food. I cut leather down where I go sew for house for night in case everybody does sleep. That one nobody go disturb you, go sew your leather in the morning na to wear am. So if you work even though na 1 hour for night, it go help you the next day. Even though I get belle, I still dey work because it don't master the body. If I no come work now, I get belle. Na so sick I go sick. Oh, now make me dey come work. If I sit down for house, fever go come. So if I come work, I dey work small before you know fever dey vermouth for the body. My name na Rachel Bukoko. I be 25 years old. I be carpenter. I dey do furniture work for JC Town. I dey do kitchen cabinets, wardrobe, bed, and dining them. The advantage wey I get over men wey dey do this kind of work be say some kind time if they say na woman dey do this kind of work, some people go like give me work, make they try, make they say I big, whether I go fit do am. And number two, even the men sef wey dey do the work, they still dey respect me for inside because they know say even them wey be men sef, if they disturb, they talk more of one woman come do am. So when they see me sef, they like call me, we dey hail each other well. They encourage me sef when they see me. When I dey grow, they come up. All my friends that time for secondary school na boys. And me, I dey see girls like people wey dey make noise too much. So when all of us wan learn work, come say no abeg, no need to go sit down with girls dem dey work. Now I just go sign furniture work. When I dey SS1 to SS3, now I learn work back that time for Abuja. That time na only share now I learn. Then when I come back to JC, I come see sign work, come learn bed and wardrobe. When me and my husband first meet, I thought like na furniture work I did. You no believe. Till when I can't get one work, we carry me go Enugu State that time. They come start go the work. As I dey do the work, he come call me for video call. When he see as I dey do am, he come surprise. Even when I come JC that time, I come still get one work. Now that time, I can't believe. The furniture work what I dey do, so why I like am say the money no dey come PCC, they come once. So when he come, you go fit comot the one you want use do something, do something. You use the rest buy material. No be say you come dey save and small they come. Na easy work to do furniture work na easy work. Na so far you get the determination, you go free. Because that time when I first start and body dey pay me, people dey holla say I no fit complete am. But I tell myself say I will complete am. By the grace of God, I still complete am. Na me be this. With the wound though, the wound dey go. No, you know they stop me because my grandma say na heaven 9% dey rest. No, I no stop am. Sure, you don't enter body now. Now it don master the body. You just know the capital work. The work what I like before now to learn how to do how to repair tipper, all those big truck. But then my uncle no gree, say I choose another one, now I can't choose this one. When I start the work, you know, be smart, you know. People vex well, even my family members say they no gree. So I want disgrace them, say woman no they do that kind of work. But me I person say if I cross my mind, say I want to do something. So far I know say the thing na good thing, no be bad thing. I dey do am. I dey very happy, so I dey do furniture work. I still thank God say na him I learn, because the country come sweet well now. The work what they do say, see they help me for some kind of ways for the family. They help all of us. They make things day easy for us too now. At least if I collect work, I will not say money dey my hand that period.
Welcome to your favorite show, the Boldest TV show. And tonight with me, like I said earlier, we have special guests. Yes, special guests that they are going to join me in tonight's discussion. What we are going to discuss today, we're going to discuss about the attitude of our children, and we want to relate all skill acquisition. And my pikin no go school, he go school. My pikin no want learn work. Let's see, because we've been blaming these kids. So we want to hear from them to see how we can generally manage the situation. Sitting very close to me by the left here is Mr. Egu Peter. He is the general manager of Orchid Hotel Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria, and an entrepreneur. Welcome to tonight's show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome very much. And also very close to me, to the extreme left, is my boss. You always hear me talk about my boss, my mentor in this professional angle. When you talk of PR, what is PR? Public relations. You talk about him, and his name is Mr. Godfrey Osakwe. Welcome to the night show, sir. Welcome. All right. We already know what we are going to talk about, so I want us to begin with you, sir, Mr. Peter. I want to ask, This trendy bullying in school, cultism everywhere. We know cultism has been as far as the university was concerned then. But right now it's no longer in the university. Cultism is everywhere, in fact, down to the primary school. So I want us to see, how does this thing work? Where did these children get this from? Who are they emulating? How is it? Do you have an idea where all these social vices are coming from our children, especially the little ones that are not yet in the university?
Thank you very much. Well, I will begin by saying that they copied what they saw in the society.
Okay.
When these children were born, they came into the world with a free mind. But as they grew, they discover certain things that is happening in the society. And you know, children are children anytime, any day. It's easier for them to copy. So they begin to copy what they are seeing the elders doing. And if that becomes a norm, fine, they see it as a norm in society. And that's what I think that we taught them. We the adults, we the parents, we their elder brothers taught them what they know or all they should know about cultism.
All right, thank you so much. And when you talk about teaching them, you said we the elders, we the parents, we taught them. And I was trying to figure it out. Does it mean that a parent who is a cultist or a parent who has a negative behavior could sit his or her child down and say, okay, copy me, do this, do this? Is that the mode of teaching? Or because it is the nature of a child to actually copy whatever they see? So is it the copying that we indirectly teach them, or these parents and elders sit them down and say, okay, do exactly what I do? From which of the angles? Is it just the copying attitude of children?
Yeah, well, one of it, the major one, is the copy attitude of children.
Okay.
If you're in a home, your father and your mother, they're always exchanging blows. You see it as a normal thing. So if you grow up and marry your wife, exchanging blow to you is normal because you see your parents do it.
Okay.
And secondly, you know, the society where we belong, with what is happening, they find out that those who come together in group, in one form or the other, are the people grabbing the national cake. That if you like, if for instance, in our political setting,
Okay.
you know, where people are undoing themselves and mending themselves because they want position, they see it as a way of life. And they want to belong to that class. You know, and if the society did not bring them to book for behaving or reprimanding them for behaving the way they have behaved, so to them, there's nothing wrong if they behave like that too.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, Mr. Osakwe, what is your take on this?
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I will further elucidate on what Mr. Peter Egu has just highlighted. Children are actually very, very impressionistic. What they see, naturally they will do. And the society we are today is such that most of the cultural values that stood us out as people of great value in younger years is on the verge of extinction. No time societal value. We no longer place value on moral, decency, decorum. Like you mentioned earlier, if a child sees his father, let's say for example in National Assembly, climbing fence or exchanging blow, of course it becomes natural of him to do so. Same also a child who live in a house where the parents smoke cigar and all whatnot, drink. He has that natural propensity to indulge in a cigarette. And you also remember the popular book, Mario Puzo, The Godfather, when of course all the Sicilian mafias, his son, Michael, when he was asked, what do you want to be in future? And he answered, I want to be a criminal like you, Dad. And the father was shocked. He said, no, that I had always thought you were going to be a lawyer. But that a lawyer with a briefcase can steal more money than 1,000 men with guns and masks. Because Michael, I've always seen the father carried on, blindfolds and all whatnot. So this is the nature of children. It also brings us down to the prevalent issue we have in school today: bullying, cultism, and all whatnot. Yeah, it's a function of failed family value. So we have to really go back to our roots to address that family value that stood us out in other years. That's it.
Wow. Wow. Well said. Thank you so much, sir. It's interesting. Yes. And my audience might be wondering why are we discussing this? Yes, we are discussing this for this reason. This show is meant to encourage us to move on and be better people in life by way of using our hands and our heads to put food on our table. And that is where we come when we talk about the skill acquisition, adding it to your education. In my last program, we had little children. When I say little, sir, I have to specify their ages: 11, 12, 14, 16. I spotted them somewhere, for crying out loud, and these children, not yet adults, were making clothes. They were not learning. They've been in that system for like 3-4 years. And I saw them making, oh Jesus. So that drew my attention, and I brought them on this show, and we saw those kids. And the area where these kids were, are the areas, if you're familiar with Asaba, it is called Jarrett's in Cape. You know that area now? That is where, God bless you, sir. The Buddhists have said, okay, let's discuss this, because we were using those children as to benchmark this whole idea of encouraging children and youth to learn skill. Now, from what we just observed, because recently the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations went on a school tour where in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to educate these children about peers, their peer groups. Because they also discovered, like I said earlier, some of these children, their attitudes, their characters did not just come from their parents, they got from school. Okay. But at the end of the day, I discovered also that all these judgment, children, people should do this, somehow it's not really their fault. It's from the home. That is why we are seated here tonight to talk about it. From the result of the school tour we went to, I want us to see some clips of this tour and the topic and the reactions from these children. Please join me to the school tour by the NIPR in Asaba, Delta State chapter. Please join me.
Giving national honor, just at the face of it, that this person is a woman, or a gangster, or a fighter, that he has fought, he was so rude, and we are giving him honor for being rude. Have you ever seen that?
No.
That friends, people, and individuals are capable of impacting on a person. Peer pressure could be positive or negative. Positive peer pressure affects the child positively or negatively. The high point or the highlight of negative peer pressure to use alcohol. I'm sure some of us may have been lured into here and go anywhere. If you start here, make the right decision, you'll go anywhere you want. So David, I want to thank you for being a good person, and I pray that you'll be able to sustain the goodness in you. Then I want to also give what's his name? The prefect. So I want to give the assembly prefect this. I was impressed the way she conducted the praise and worship during the assembly. Thank you and God bless you.
Two cult groups fighting against themselves, and in the process, some of those cult members will lose their life. Why? Because they are killed. They are killed. There are lots of morals. They lie, they steal, Are those good morals? Are those good morals? Okay. Then they are involved, like I said earlier, in drugs and alcoholism. And they may lose the members of their family. The opposing cult group may say, okay, we cannot find James that belongs to the other cult. Let us go and kill the mother. Is that good? No. Will you like to lose the members of your family? No. So you must be of good behavior.
Only me. And I'm sure that is why you are here. In fact, your own goal is that you will be more than me. Amen. Now, there is no way you can achieve that if you are distracted. How is this distraction? The main distraction comes from your peers. No matter your background, no matter how strict your parents are, when you come to school where you spend more time, you get affected by your peers. Who are these your peers? They are your friends. They are your group. They are your gang. Do not keep peers. Do not keep groups. Do not keep gangs that will make you become something different from your home training. If you research, you discover that that background the child came out from is a very good one. But how come this child is not behaving like a mother or the father? Why? The peers. Very powerful. Are you with me? The negative effect of keeping negative peers. Okay, keeping negative peers. Number one, it's going to affect your academics. Number two is that if you have a wrong peer, it's going to affect your moral life. You won't have respect for your parents in a nutshell. These and more are going to affect you. And at the end of the day, you will go out here and is that all these social vices I mentioned, one person cannot just wake up and succeed in doing it. You must do it with a friend. And what is the disadvantage, or what are the disadvantages of having a wrong peer group? Wrong group of friends, wrong gang.
Affects education, your application. It brings you into cultism. It gets you distracted.
On behalf of the Institute, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, I present this to you for your brilliant answer. Thank you very much. Welcome back to your favorite show, the Borders TV show. I hope you saw those clips, though very, very brief, but we got one or two from them. So I want to begin with Mr. Osakwe, who was one of the mentors that spoke there in school to give us a summary of the intention behind that tour and how we can manage this whole behavior.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I must commend the Delta State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. I think the initiative was started by our own chairman, Chief Patrick Okan, when it was the current SSG, when he was the Commissioner for Education. When he initiated the idea of school mentorship. You know, the idea is to mainstream our generation next to the culture of responsible behavior, and also to guide them right. Because we notice that our children are losing it. The values that they uphold today will give us a big future tomorrow. So in my assignment at ZAPA, for example, I noticed a behavioral change from the attitude I noticed last year, an improvement, and that's to show that the initiative is not a wasted effort after all. I observed students behaved well, well-dressed, the comportment and all whatnot. So the idea, like we mentioned, is that we need to constantly engage these children to constructive exercises, because most of them, because of the chase for money, most parents have literally abdicated their responsibility Some parents leave home very early and probably get back home very late, leaving the children to the vagaries of society. Of course, this is where the peer pressure and influence comes into play. But when you have a disciplined child that you have already impacted some life lesson, so that life lesson will go a long way to guide him or her in the journey of life. And like I told them in my mentorship program, that the choice they make today will be the determinant factor of where they're going to be tomorrow. Because life is about choice. Yeah. And the choice we make today will be the direct consequences of our action tomorrow. So we also have an interactive section where students also express their misgivings and challenges. But in all of this, because we also have to also talk to the teachers, because teachers are next to God after their parents, because the children, the teachers are more or less like the potter that will mold these our children into a refined species of mankind. Because Nigeria is what it is today. We have failed leadership. Because we believe that God has blessed this nation with so many hidden treasures and all abundant blessings. But today, Nigeria is not fulfilling its full potentials because of wrong leadership. And those people who are superintending our affairs who are not doing the right thing, they are also, it's a function of bad parenting. Exactly. Because if their parent had inculcated in them good values, righteousness, peace, I don't think anybody in the right senses will go to aspire to the position of leadership and at the same time choose to loot the treasury, to loot what he or she will not need, while others are wallowing in abject poverty. So that is the lessons learned. And the children, of course, they appreciated the effort and they made a pledge that they would view of good behavior and shun bad influence like courtesan, prostitution, and all the social vices that you can name of. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asape. That was very, very educating. Okay, and sir, please, Mr. Peter, now that we have noticed this behaviors, these negative behaviors amongst our children, and now that we also know that we shouldn't attribute the blames to just the children, that the parents have their own take on it. Now, what do you think could be the necessary ways to control it already? It's already existing.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
My brother Osape has said so much. It's still a function of the parents, the teachers, and the society at large.
Okay.
When we're growing up, the child belongs to the community. If you see a child doing what is wrong, you stand up to school that child and correct that child. Okay. But today the story is different. It's a question of educating our people further, because I've seen that the society has degenerated to a level that we can no longer tolerate or handle. Okay. So some of us who feel that we still have something to contribute should do that in whatever small way. The biggest threat is when you correct someone's child now, they see it as a threat.
Telling you, especially in school.
Yeah, go to school, even within your neighborhood. The parents, when the child goes on to tell the parents, this is what happened, they say, his own children better than you. Don't mind that man, that's why you'll be talking what does not concern him. So we need to educate parents. And you see, the children most of the time are in school. They stay more in school than they stay at home. So we need to appeal to our teachers, no matter what the situation is, they should play their role. Yeah, we agree that corporal punishment has been removed from our schools, but sometimes it should be applied. Because the children, they need strong hand. Okay. Yes. Because if you don't do that, they'll take things for granted. And like you said, you know, the choice you make today determines who you are tomorrow. You know. And when we talk to them, we appeal to them, we educate them, make them see the need for them to behave properly, because that will take them to wherever they want to be. And this issue of trying to acquire wealth very fast is another issue. You know, some mothers, some parents will encourage their children when they know what they are doing, instead of scolding them. Like one of my cousins said, or like my wife would always say, told my son, if you make money, I don't know how you make that money, please don't come back to the house. Spend it with yourself. I'm not interested. They make money as well. But you see them being creative. Creativity rules the world.
Yeah.
Even in Israel, during the time of Jesus Christ, you know, all the people that he worked with, you know, they have one thing or the other they are doing. Saul was a lawyer, became a preacher. You know, the children of Joseph brothers.
Okay.
When Joseph was taking them to go and see Pharaoh in Egypt, he said, Pharaoh will ask you, what trade are you into?
Okay.
You know, our children, I want to believe that if right now, the way it is, you know, we are producing over 65 million graduates yearly. So where is the job? People should learn craft.
Okay.
It's very, very
Get
important.
busy.
So
Yeah.
if we want to engage the children further, parents should spend more in engaging the children. And how do they do this? By the time you draw their program after school hour, you must go and do something. I think that brought about system of education. But because of corruption, they killed it. Yeah, because that is true. After your primary school, you do your first 3 years. You know, when we were in secondary school, yeah, that was what the government was doing. So that 3 years, you will decide. You will learn a trade. You will learn a trade. Carpentry, building, all these small trade, bricklaying, refrigerator. So if you can no longer continue, you go to technical school and complete it, where you get city and gas and all that, and move on from there. For those who are brilliant, you will now go further to school to read other courses like law, communication, you know, medicine, and all that. So everybody must not be a graduate.
Of course.
But you find out that the way things are going, in the next 10 years, you have nowhere to repair your cars. That's the truth. Look at, in our society and environment, the menial jobs, going to farm, clearing of bush, you know, and all that, is done by this northerners that has come. Because they are not literate, that is where they fit in.
Yeah.
So our children within our society don't even know how to farm any longer. They are not interested. You know. So it's going to affect us on the long run.
Yeah.
So we must get ourselves involved in trade. You know, involved in craft. You see the Igbo man system of living. As the children goes to school, they go and meet their father in the shop. So by the time they grew up, they feel how many Igbo young men are working, paid job, they are not interested.
At all.
Because they have learned trade from childhood.
Yes.
And when these children are engaged, okay, your son finished from school, closes by 2, say meet me in the shop. He is in the shop, people close the shop by 6. What time has he to do courtesy or whatever? There's no time for that. So I think that we should too look into their system of existence and their system of bringing up their children. I think it will go a long way to solve some of these problems.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, brilliant. Hey, at this junction, I'm going to say Igbo Kwemu. At least, for the first time, we are seeing or hearing something positive about Igbo, because they only know Igbo about Igbo people, Igbo wayo, Igbo money. But somehow these Igbos are very, very intelligent. You just heard it. An Igbo man will not keep his child less busy. They engage them, and these children will feel that which kinds of ahead be this? But with time, they discover that that is it. So that is why you will never meet a dull Igbo man or a dull Igbo child. They are very smart. Go to the streets, they are the smartest on the streets, selling very fast. There was a time I was traveling within Delta State and wanted to get something by the roadside. The person was, hey, I love you. I said, oh, Father. If like said Onitsha or any Igbo land, Father, before you go say, the person is already there. But our people and some other people, they are so lazy. They just want to be comfortable. Hey, calm down. Hey, can you imagine? But an Igbo child will run after the car to make sure, even if it's something of 50 naira, they must achieve it because they know by the time they keep on selling for 50 naira, before you know it, their goods are finished. So I want to say thank you so very much, sirs, for honoring my invitation, and thank you for your contribution. They were all very, very educating, interesting. You have said it all. I have nothing to say, just that we have to be reminded about what they told us. From the family, from the parental angle, you have to be careful things you do in the presence of your children. First, that was my lesson. Why? Because they copy. You must not tell them sit down and learn. They do exactly what you do. That was the first instance we got from our guest, where the father was a ruffian and expected his child to be hello, who does that? So parents, you have to be careful. Things you do in private and in public, these children, they are natural copiers. They copy and paste without your permission. So the teachers and the government too, we have to try and bring back some of the good things. We are not saying we should go backward. Development is very, very allowed and it's very good. But let's pick some of these things that were good, that we have neglected. How we could discipline these children. I want to say it's been nice having you on my show, and I hope to also have you again when we call on you. I hope you will answer us. Thank you so much, sirs, for coming, and do have a restful night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Install Anioma LPG app now and have fun cooking. For inquiries about our policy and more, call the office on 0913 258 2836. Anioma Gas, making cooking easy and fun.
Wow, that was interesting and educating. Thank you so much, Mr. Osakwe, the Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations at Asaba Delta State Chapter. So thank you to Mr. Peter Egu, the General Manager of Orchid Hotel, Asaba Delta State, Nigeria. Your contributions were so powerful, they were educating, and they were fatherly. And I hope you out there watching me will pick one or two from what they just said and apply it. It goes round. Nobody is a particular victim. We are all victims. You know good from bad. So it doesn't matter whether you copied from your parents, your peers, whatever. The choice is yours, because you know what is good and what is bad. You also decide how your future will be. So if you want your future to be bright and better, you follow the right step. Desist from negative and bad peer groups. Desist from cultism, and desist from what? Prostitution. And more so, invest your time in getting busy by learning a skill or assisting your parents after school or during the holidays. Like this. Thank you so much again, our guest. And moving on now is the entertainment segment, where we give you lots of celebration. We like celebrating, so let's join those that celebrated their birthdays, wedding anniversaries or wedding celebration, also burial and lots more. Please stick on your TV set, go nowhere, I'll be right back.
Congratulations, you're in the glory of God. Congratulations, He has done it for you, and you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations, congratulations. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that God is greater than that. Who can battle with the Lord? Nobody. Who can change His mind around me? Through many years
website. But before then, we want you to follow us straight to our social media platforms. Our YouTube, the Boldest TV Show. Our Facebook, The Boldest TV Show. Our Instagram, The Boldest TV Show too. Follow us, send your comments, criticisms, and if you need us to come to where you work or your business place, or you have something you're doing in the society and you want somebody to know about it, why not dial my number 0706550750 or 080-354-82473. If you want to advertise on this show, you want to sponsor this show, call my number and I'll be right there to answer your call. And until next Sunday, same time, same station, I want to urge us to be good, stay safe. Please do not involve yourself in any of this mentioned and unmentioned social vices. But you have to get equipped so you know your rights and fight for your rights. And until then, I want to bid you a very quiet and peaceful night rest. Ciao, I love you from Esther Obesi, aka Esther Shine, of your favorite show.